What up? It's your boy Tom, and what I have for you today is a Master Duel replay. We are, of course, playing Scrap Orcust. So we're going to start with a copy of Scrap Factory. That's going to be able to extend further here. We're going to use Scrap Yard to get a copy of Scrap Raptor, which will destroy itself, allowing us to normal summon an additional times per turn. We may not need to do that, though, as Scrap Raptor will resolve, giving us a Scrap Recycler to hand, and the field spell Chain Link 1 will get us to our Scrap Recycler directly from deck. We can normal summon the second copy if we need to, if we get interrupted, but for now let's just go for the Rosenix token into a copy of Scrap Wyvern here, so we're just doing Scrap plays for now. The Wyvern, of course, is going to summon a Scrap monster from the graveyard. We're going to immediately destroy it here to get the Refrigerator out of the deck. There it is, Scrap Golem. Go ahead and get rid of the field spell because we do not need it anymore. Scrap Golem will activate, getting Recycler from the graveyard. We will dump World Wand, but we're not going to link into Lib here because we've drawn the World Legacy Succession. So we just go straight into a 3-material Appaloosa instead of a 2-material. Then we get World Legacy Succession to bring back the Golem once more. Golem to summon the Recycler once more. This time, we can go for a copy of Orcust Nightmare. We hard drew the Babel, so we're going to go ahead and activate that. Nightmare, we're going to buff Appaloosa just a little bit. Banish the World Wand to summon the Nightmare back. From here we can go into Galatea. And Galatea will get us to a copy of Orcust Crescendo, since we already have Babel. So it's looking like a pretty good setup so far. Next, all we need to do is get one more monster out. We'll go ahead and use Harp Horror to summon Girsu. Girsu can bin another card. We'll get the Symbol Skeleton. After that, we will link into none other than Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and get Girsu here, because that's essential for this combo. And it appears that Master Duel's lagging quite a bit. That's interesting. It just can't handle the power of my plays here. So Dingirsu's going to hit the field. After that, we're done summoning. We're just going to put this Harp Horror back on it as material. Verte will send Instant Fusion to the graveyard, and we will Fusion summon El Shaddai Winda, which will restrict both players to special summoning once per turn. Instant Fusion will try to destroy it at the end phase, but Dingirsu is able to protect it by detaching an Xyz material. Our opponent grabs a copy of Stratos off of Reinforcement of the Army. Next they will use E-Emergency Call, and that will get them to Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. Now they use Polymerization. This is going to be their one special summon, sending the Blazeman and the Liquid Soldier for Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. Liquid Soldier will activate its effect here. We're just going to negate that with Appaloosa. Doesn't really matter. Then afterwards, they choose to normal summon the Stratos. They will use its effect, and Appaloosa will negate it. So Appaloosa's almost spent. They could easily attack over it at this point, as they could have as soon as Absolute Zero hit the board. But we will protect it the first time with Dingirsu. They will go for it again. This time we're just going to use Nightmare, dumping a World Wand. Buff it for 800 so we take less damage here. They set 2 and pass. On their end phase, we're going to use the Symbol Skeleton that we dumped off of Girsu last turn to go into Galatea from the graveyard. Galatea will tuck our Orcust Nightmare to get a second copy of Crescendo. Winda will be destroyed at the end phase because Instant Fusion checks every end phase that the monster is on the field. Now, we're just going to use Galatea, get the third Crescendo out of the deck. And then after that, we will link summon here, getting the Dingirsu off of the board, which will prompt our opponent to try something here, even though it's out of Xyz materials. So Longirsu hits the board, which does threaten them quite a bit. They're going to try to form change into Absolute Zero, and of course I cannot let that resolve. So the Crescendo will negate that. Afterwards, we're free to banish the Harp Horror to summon the Nightmare. World Wand will summon the Harp Horror, and with the 2 banished machines that we have, we'll go ahead and use Longirsu's effect here. Tucking the Rosenix and the World Wand, we'll send the Stratos to the graveyard. After that, we take the Longirsu and just slap a Dingirsu on top of it, and we can use its effect. to send their back row to the graveyard here. And turns out it was a copy of Blazing Mirror Force. Now that would have been very awkward. After that, we're just going to link 4 into kind of an underplayed card here. I mean, it's not great, but it's interesting. Orcustrion, the link 4, with 3,000 attack, and then I believe it also has an effect that is kind of similar to Forbidden Droplets. You know, it can just negate multiple monsters on the field. We're going to buff Dingirsu with Nightmare, and then we're going to summon Deersu. Going to use Monster Reborn to summon the Winda. And there is nothing our opponent can do against that. This is 34 over the 25. They'll take 900 direct. Absolute Zero will try to trigger. Dingirsu will just protect our field. Then we go Harp Horror for 17, Girsu for 18, Winda for 22, and Orcustrion for the final blow, 3k direct. Final blow. Alright, well, if you enjoyed this replay, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe for future content, and go ahead and post in the comments if you would like to buy my ultimate rare copy of Galatea. It's going for the low price of $10 million. If we got any takers, go ahead and put your bids in the comment. $7 billion or best offer.